Hey guys, so we all know that Canadian immigration is causing some serious delays on the processing of immigration applications. There has been a longer processing times, and also the BFOM inquiries that's been raised recently by the applicants is not getting the proper responses from the immigration. On top of that, when the applicants or we as the agents are trying to contact the contact centers of the IRCC, we are not getting the updates on the files. The reason they are mentioning is because they are not allowed to open the applications file if it's not a serious or urgent inquiry. They cannot provide you the updates on the ongoing immigration processing time of the applications. They only tell you if something is pending or if something is really urgent, only then they open the file. So what is going on with the immigration? Why we are seeing so much delay in the processing of the applications? What is the reason that the applications are keep getting postponed? We are seeing some applications, some temporary resident applications such as the post graduation work permits, PGWP, study permits, the visitor visa extensions from inside Canada. They are getting very longer processing time. The PGWPs are taking even more than 4 months right now for the processing. So it's really hard for some applicants. Their applications been on pending for a long time. So be with me throughout the end of this video. We will share the details about what's going on in the immigration department and what is the main reason of this delay, and what can be done from our side that can help us reduce this processing time. So we will discuss all this in the further. Please be with me. So guys, welcome to SeaLink Immigration Services. My name is Amrinder Atwal and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. We are operating our business of immigration consulting services from Ontario in Brampton City, and our address is mentioned in the description. And if somebody wants to contact us, they can reach us at the contact numbers mentioned below in the video. And let's get to today's topic. So the reason that we are seeing as an immigration consultant, the reason which is causing the huge delays in the processing of the immigration applications is basically the huge pile up of applications in the immigration department. In a recent news that was published by the Canadian Immigration, it was mentioned that Canadian Immigration has approximately 1.8 million of the applications pending and waiting for the processing and the decision to be made on those applications. So those applications, the numbers which are coming up as 1.8 million, it consists of permanent residency applications as well as the temporary residency applications. So immigration application processing officers are working very hard these past couple months to process all those applications. But in the last year, to meet the target, which was 400,000 applicants to be gonna get the immigration status from the Canada with the PR, to meet those deadlines, the immigration department worked very hard and they introduced some public policies such as the TR to PR pathway, and also to meet those yearly deadlines of the immigration. The express entry draw was targeted to very low number in the year 2021, that was 75 CRS. So that score was very less, and in that round of invitation 20,000 invitations were sent out. So all of those 20,000 in one time created a big pile up of applications in the Canadian Immigration Department. Usually if you see in each express entry draw, invitations were issued at a number of, I would say, 4 to 5,000 on average. But in that draw, in one draw, single draw, the invitations which were sent out to the applicants was 27,000 invitations. So that was a huge invitations that were sent out, and applicants had to apply within 60 days time frame. So Canadian Immigration, IRCC, they have received a big pile of applications during that round of invitation in express entry. That was the first reason. And the second is they had also introduced a public policy to meet their annual targets, which was released on 6th May. Like applicants had to submit their applications on 6th May under TR to PR pathway. The number of applications that were allocated under that program was 90,000 applications. So 90,000 applications were generated in the month of May 2021, which also caused some delays, because if you see 27,000 first and 90,000 afterwards, they were not having a big time difference. They were I would say 1 or 2 month time frame difference, and then also some other draws of CEC came after these two invitations were sent out. Some other draws were also generated which targeted the applicants, and huge number of applicants they applied under regular ongoing CEC round of invitations in express entry. So in total, like IRCC has received a bunch of applications for permanent residency. On top of that, going pandemic issue, some temporary residency applications were getting delayed. For example, study permits were taking processing time of, I would say, 3 to 4 months. In that time period, like 3 months in the end of 2021, immigration extended the processing time for the study permit, but still it was taking some 3 months on average processing time. That caused some international students to defer their program to the next intake, and doing so also increased the amount of work on the processing officers of IRCC, and all of this in a nutshell caused the longer processing times. And we should not forget the crisis of Afghanistan. The Afghanistan crisis also put a burden on the immigration of Canada processing officers to prioritize the Afghanistan applications on top of other immigration applications. So the workforce of the Canadian immigration was not up to the mark that could handle this much pressure of applications, and that really caused a big pile of backlog in the Canadian immigration history. The applications are taking longer time now, and this is the main reason that we are not seeing any express entry for CEC recently, because they already have too much applications in their system when waiting for the decisions. So all of this is causing the serious delays which we are facing today. And to cope this problem, recently Immigration Minister Sam Fraser has mentioned that they are hiring a team of 500 staff to solve this issue and to speed up the processing times. They are trying to meet their standard processing times, which is usually for express entry is within 6 months. And in the recent days, the past couple months, we have seen that express entry for the FSW was taking a longer time. Like they have mentioned a number of 36 to 38 months processing time, and then for the Canadian experience class under the express entry, they are averaged out at 8 months. So they are trying to minimize that processing time and bring that back within the standard processing time of 6 months. So this is a summary of all the problem that we have been facing recently, and the major issue is the delays in the processing of the applications. Now the question is, what can we do from our side that can help minimize the processing times? So the first thing is to, when you are submitting the application, make sure that you have checked all the checklist requirements for that particular program, that the one you are applying under. Because if you apply with all the necessary documentation that's been required, then it's automatically going to reduce the processing time of your application. Some applications which we have seen that they had been submitted with the proper documentation, like 99% documents were attached, and the processing time for those particular applications were very fast as compared to the other applications where there have been some request letters from the IRCC department. Because when IRCC is requesting the documentation on your applications, sometimes they when you upload that document and when you submit it, then at that time, sometimes, not all the time, your application gets queued back in the line. They don't check your application in the queue where it was before. So it takes some extra time and it increase the processing time of the application. So it's always best and advisable to make sure that when you are submitting your application, all the required documentation is there attached in the application, so there will be no additional request letters. And even if there is a request letters, then you have to submit the required ask document as soon as possible. Don't delay it. Like some request letters have a time frame of 30 days, so don't wait for like 29 days and submit on the 30th day. Submit it on as soon as possible. Try to submit in the first 2 or 3 days. That's with that your application can resume the processing right from there. You don't have to wait for a long time to get your application processed again. It will start getting processed right away. And another thing you can do is, if you see something is missing, if you after submitting the application you see that there was a document that was missed and it was not uploaded because of some error or mistake, or you forgot about it earlier, then it's always advisable to send it to the immigration department so they can attach that missing document in your application. So when the processing officer is going to open your application, they can see that missing document was provided. So there won't be any requests for additional information. It will, all the required information will be already there. Even if you missed in the first place during submission, you can send it afterwards, and it will reduce your processing time of the application. So this is all for today, guys. If you haven't subscribed our channel, please think of subscribing right now, because we keep posting the videos relating to the immigration latest news and updates. And by following this channel, you can keep yourself updated with all the latest immigration news of Canadian immigration. And thanks for all.